So hey guys, Labyrinth is seeing a lot of play in the most recent event, and there's not really much you can do about it, but they have really good options that they can play for like cards that allow them to draw and look for the cards they need. They have Pot of Prosperity, they have Pot of Extravagance, which you can use both of. This doesn't draw a card, this adds a excavated card to your hand, or just searches in general are allowed after an extrav, but you can't like activate, for example, I don't know, Pot of Greed, Upstart Goblin, whatever. So along with that, there are a lot of annoying qualities that this deck possesses. So first off, Solemn Judgment. If you have like, for example, Red Reboot or Evenly Matched, whatever, to out their board, Solemn Judgment negate your counterplay, basically, and then that's like basically the whole duel, because generally you won't be able to do like what you need against them. So for this event, Dimensional Barriers at 3, isn't it? Wait, what? Serious? What? Wait, really? Hold up. Dimensional Barrier? Is that like... Yeah, wait, no, it's not even limited. Ah. Suffer, I guess. Well, you can run Dimensional Barrier 3. Well, just in general, all you can really hope to do is run Evenly Matched and generic backer removal, like Lightning Storm, whatever, and that's fine. But like, in general on ladder and ranked, they have more tools and more things for you to worry about, like Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, which you can't really do that much about. Actually, we need to go ahead and show Forbidden. Okay. So, Eradicator, Epidemic Virus allows them to declare spell. So, for example, let's say I have a Raigeki, I have like Forbidden Droplet, whatever. They're gone. And I have nothing I can do, right? So the only thing that you'd be able to activate realistically is like maybe a Twin Twisters or like Red Reboot. You also have the option of, I guess, Evenly Matched if they declare spells. And this is also good into like combo decks as well, being able to either force syndicate or completely, more or less, wipe your opponent's entire board. Like against Tier Limit, for example, they'll probably be forced to keep like just a single Root Kelos, and that's probably what direction it'll go. And so generally I recommend like just making 3 evenly matched now, because you'll probably use it on ladder. In fact, it's been seeing considerably more and more play like over the course of the game's lifespan, followed by Infinite Impermanence, but Infinite Impermanence against specifically Labyrinth isn't even that great. It's kind of dumb how many like things are like kind of, well, how strong like Labyrinth is right now. So first off, let's see. This sets a card. So since it sets, you can't Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring this. And then, since Lovely Labyrinth exists, you can't respond to, like, spell traps with monster effects. Specifically monster effects, whatever. So I guess if you want a Solemn Judgment, Welcome Labyrinth, that's about all you can do in response to Welcome Labyrinth if Lovely Labyrinth is on the field. Something like that. Which is really obnoxious, so even if you can Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, like Welcome Labyrinth, or Big Welcome, like Ghost Spell as well, you can't respond to it, so doesn't really work, which is pretty obnoxious. And of course, Lovely Labyrinth and Lady Labyrinth all have essentially 3 effects. This one being protection, special summon itself, and then set a normal trap from deck. Keep in mind this is any normal trap, so you can set Dimensional Barrier, Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, Dogmatic Punishment, Torrential Tribute, whatever you want, really. I'm not saying torrential is the play, but you can definitely set it. And then big welcome, of course. This is how how come you can't really imperm that well. So if you imperm and then they chain like big welcome to it, this doesn't even target. So there's also that, but they can return whatever you're targeting and they can use it for later as well. Like if they return Ariana, for example, they can just normal Ariana again next turn. They can like return like their Labrynth, Stovey, Torby, Chen, Dreglier, whatever. That's perfectly fine. There's also the fact that since they're a control deck in general, Maxi is not super effective against them. Like, if they super play into it, at most they'll special summon maybe like 4 times. And that's assuming they have a cracked hand. But like, you know, set pass, set 4, 5 pass, whatever. That's also a thing. And because of the nature of control decks in general, they don't really brick like the same way like a combo deck does. And that makes it significantly harder to deal with. So, for example, if I brick in like tier elements, I will literally, the best I can do is set like maybe an imperm if I happen to have it, and then set like a monster, and that's it. That's all I can do. But honestly, setting a monster isn't even necessarily good because, you know, let's say, for example, I only opened the Ishizu cards and no tier element cards, and then I also got my tier element spell traps. Well, there's literally nothing you can do, right? But in the case of, like, Labyrinth and how this works, Big Welcome by itself isn't quite anything, really. But, like, if you have any trap that is activatable with, Welcome Labyrinth, or actually, let's see, Big Welcome, I believe, also works. So that is a 2-card combo, so you can like special summon Lady Labyrinth and also set a trap from your deck, the same as like you would with like Lord of the Heavenly Prison, kind of. Well, actually, Lord is a bit stronger, not by too much, I guess, but if you do that, that'll work for you, I guess. Or you can like Lovely Labyrinth, return a card, like specifically a Fiend, I guess. Is it a Fiend? Does it specify, or just any monster? No, it's any monster. Damn. So Big Welcome, and you have Lovely Labyrinth. Of course, Lovely Labyrinth in a really cracked hand can also do some hand looping, so you're playing off of -2. Unless you're playing 2 element, maybe that card they popped actually can trigger, I guess. That's not really all decks, but, you know. Let's say they pop your triple tactics, and then they pop your, like, I don't know, your evenly matched or whatever. That can just happen, which sucks. Not much you can do about that, though, I guess. But in general, yeah, this deck is pretty obnoxious, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Best thing you can hope for is to open Red Reboot when you need it, and Red Reboot isn't necessarily that good into like every deck, of course. Like against Sprite, what does this do for you? Not much. I'll tell you that much. And then we have like evenly matched, and you simply open those, and your opponent does not open Solemn Judgment, or you win the coin flip. That is kind of how it is. And keep in mind they have the power of giving, well, not giving you, well, yeah, it is kind of, it's just giving you significant amounts of pain. So with Dimensional Barrier, the only kind of like deck type that's not affected by Dimensional Barrier is Link. But you know what sucks about Links? How they typically work is normal summon a Link 1, Link off, or Link 1, and then you also need like Link arrows or something to like make your play or whatever. So let's say we Dogmatica Punishment, your normal summon, guaranteed there's no way it has more than 2.5k attack, and then boom, it gets popped, and then they can pop one more card. You just can't play. Or even like Lovely Labyrinth, pop your one normal summon, and then you're donezo. There is not much else. I guess if you're playing like Cybers, you have like maybe Circular. If you open Circular, you might have something. But yeah, if you're not playing Link, then this is just basically a searchable floodgate that they can just use against you and declare whatever Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, Pendulum, Ritual. And they can just recycle this as well and do this every turn with lovely Labyrinth. So that's painful, but I guess they're on track to getting like semi-limited or limited some cards. I don't know what like Konami would hit, honestly. A lot of their cards are just kind of disgustingly strong, and they tend to not like to hit newer cards that are released, but the newer cards are really like the strong cards, I guess. And just for like a reference, like how many cards do they have that can search a let's see, did I spell it right? No. Happens every now and then. But like, how many cards do they have that can just summon a Labyrinth monster from the deck? Or result in doing so? So we have Arion, that's one. Because this special summons a level 4 Lore Fiend monster from your deck in defense position. And then that will allow you to like special summon Ariana, which adds one as well. So 6 cards. And then this doesn't actually do anything. Okay. So 6 here. And then 9 with Big Welcome. That is 12. So 12 cards they have that can just summon any Labyrinth monster they want. And then on top of that we have Labyrinth, Draglier, and Stovey Torby. So that's another 6, making well, putting us at like 18, and this doesn't include like, well, this doesn't put into consideration like Prosperity or Extrav. And of course, I'm not necessarily suggesting you run these ratios or whatever, but that amount of consistency means that half of their cards in their deck are essentially starters. And let's say Extrav and if you run like one of Extrav, for example, and one of Prosperity, those cards basically kind of might as well not exist. You can consider them like as upstarts almost. So it's closer to like about 20-ish cards that they have that are just starters. And of course, Prosperity digs 6 deep. So if they can't find a single starter in 6, that'd be kind of crazy, right? So in short, Labyrinth, pain. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it. Even with Prohibition, there's actually nothing good to declare because they have so many options and pivots they can make against Prohibition. Is that not crazy? Against like DD though, for example, we can just go like Prohibition, declare Abyss King Gilgamesh, and there's a little pivoting you can do, but it's not like a pivot you can do with like every hand. The best things you can probably do though is just to remove it with Orthros, and this does cuck you a little bit because Orthros will be scaled, so you need a pretty good hand to play through this. But if I declare this, for example, Stovey Torby, then they could have Trend Draglier and make like a similar play anyways. If I declare Lovely, they don't need Lovely necessarily. If I declare Lady, they don't necessarily need Lady either, or they can just go to Lovely to remove my Prohibition, which is also pain. But if you were looking for like ways to deal with Labyrinth in this event, just need to put in some backer removal and you're pretty set. The ones I recommend, of course, being Evenly Matched and Red Reboot. So you have 5 good cards at least that can potentially deal with them. And assuming you draw, you're going second, you'll have 6 cards in hand, so you have an okay chance of just being able to win on the spot. But that's just kind of how it is, you know? And hand traps, of course, are not like the best, but I mean, Ash Blossom can sometimes see some mileage if they somehow brick. Like, kind of unlikely, considering we mentioned they have like 18 different starters. or like cards that search their Labyrinth cards. Not like that doesn't necessarily get them where they want to be all the time, but it is very, very consistent, and they consistently have some form of play or some sort of play. Which is not something you can say about every deck. Like, even Tearlaments has, like, the brick where you just open all the Shizu cards and you can't do anything. And you just have to, like, pass or maybe try set pass. Maybe normal summon Mudora, hope the Mudora can stop whatever your opponent's trying to do and pass. In general, not so great. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.